Hey, it's straight to point, and this is how you can remove silences from any videos using N8N. Let's start by showing you the results. This is the before. Hey, welcome to another video. I will be showing you how to remove silence from any video. Thank you. And this is the after. Hey, welcome to another video. I will be showing you how to remove silence from any video. Thank you. Let's start breaking down this workflow. First, you will need three things. The NCA Toolkit, which was made by the YouTuber Stephen G. Pope, which you can find the GitHub link in the description. MinIO, which will be our storage for this video. And finally, N8N. If you don't know how to set up the mentioned tools, feel free to watch the videos I previously made. I went in depth on how to deploy each service, so you can click on the card that is appearing on the top right corner right now. Let's start with our workflow. First, we will have to include a trigger for this automation, so I went with the on-form submission. To add it, just right click here, click on add node, and then look for forms, go to N8N form, look for triggers, and then add the on new N8N form event. It will give you something like this. You can give it a title, a description if you want, and then you should add a field, name it data. The element type will be file, so we can upload a file, remove the multiple files here, and then you can specify the accepted file types with the extensions if you want to include only MP4, etc. The second node, which will be the S3 node or MinIO, because MinIO acts as a S3 from Amazon. So to include it, just right click on add node, look for S3, select S3. For the actions, select upload a file and then add it. It will give you something like this. You will have to set up the credentials for your MinIO account. So click on create new credential. You will have to specify the endpoint, which will be the Docker endpoint that your MinIO instance is running on. For my case, it will be localhost 9000. The region you can put it to US East. The access key and the secret key, you can get them from MinIO. Just go to the interface here. Again, I went through all of this in the previous videos, but I will show you again. Select access keys, click on create access key and then create it. It will give you the access key, put it there. And the secret key, you put it there. Alright, and then you will select the operation as upload. You will have to specify your bucket name. For my case, I created a bucket already called NCA Toolkit. To create a bucket, go to the interface again, click on create bucket, and it will create the bucket for you. You will open it. You will have to change the access policy to public. You will find it private, but you have to change it to public. And then you will have to map the file name here. So just drag it from here and put it there. It will be like this. The input binary field should be data because we named it in the form to data here, so it will be synced up. And then we will start by detecting the silences from our video. So we'll add a HTTP request node here. Right click add node, look for HTTP, add the HTTP request. You can open it. The method will be post. You can use this URL, the v1/media/silence, to detect the silences. The URL will be localhost 8080. If you have deployed N8N on Docker, it will be docker.host.internal. Since I haven't deployed N8N on Docker, it will be localhost for my case. So the authentication is generic credential type. The auth type header auth. And then for the header auth, you will have to create a new credential. Specify the name to X API key and the API key to the API you have set when you were deploying the NCA Toolkit on Docker. Activate the send body. Put the type to JSON here using JSON. The request body should be media URL, which will be the URL of the video that we have imported, and the duration to 1. Since I will be detecting silences, I will be counting 1 second of silence as a silence, so this is the minimum value. You can put 2, 3, or whatever, depending on your case. Going back to how I got the URL, we'll be adding a code node. So right click on add node, and then select code node. You will have to copy this code here. Just pause the video and copy it, and then link it with this one. Again, we will add another code node here, which will be taken the output of the HTTP request here, which will be the start and end of each silence. So it will give you like response 0, response 1, response 2, and the exact position of the silences, so we know where to cut exactly in the video. Right click, select add node and add it. So copy this code. It will give you this output for each cut, the start and the end, without the duration here, because that is what will be needed in the next HTTP request. So yeah, once you have done that, we will map it inside a set node. So again, right click, click add node, look for set, and then select this edit field set. Select it to manual mapping, add the first field for our request. Since here for the next HTTP request we have all these parameters, we will be using only the required ones, so the video URL and the cut. So go back here, create the video URL field here, and then map it to the video URL we got from the previous code node. So drag and drop it here, and then create another field called cuts, put the type to array, and then drag and drop the cuts we got from the previous code here. So drag this and put it there, and then you will be set to go. We will be moving to our last node, which will be the HTTP request, which will be cutting the silences from the actual video. So the URL to localhost 2.8080 again, which is the NCA Toolkit endpoint, /v1/video/cut, which will be the endpoint that we'll be using here to cut the video. Same authentication as the previous HTTP request. Again, X API key and then the API key that you have set when deploying the NCA Toolkit. Follow the previous video I have created on this. So yeah, activate the send body. Put the body content type to JSON. The specify body, use the using fields below. So create the first field again, video URL, and map it from the set field that we have created here. And then create another field called cuts and then map the cuts inside here. And just like that, we have our workflow ready. Let's test it with another example I have created. So I'll be showing you the before and then the after. So starting with the before. Hello everyone. This is a test video for the silence N8N workflow. Alright, great. Let me show you the after we execute. So let's start our workflow. Click on test workflow. Choose the file that you will be removing the silences from. I will be using the file that I showed you. And then click on submit. Let the workflow run. So yeah, as you can see, it has successfully finished. You can see the first HTTP request, which will be detecting the silences, gave us all the silences in the video with the exact position. And then the last HTTP request, which will be removing the silences, gave us the response, which will be the URL that we can use to download the final output. So copy it, go to your browser. Keep in mind to change the host.docker.internal to localhost here, so you'll be able to download it. And as you can see, I downloaded the video. Let's display it. Hello everyone, this is a test video for the silence N8N workflow. Just like that, you have created your own workflow to avoid manual work when cutting your videos. Of course, the sky is the limit here. I gave you the basics and you can use it with the use case that you have in mind. Of course, you can add more details to it. Leave me in the comments what video you want to see us do next, on what tutorial or workflow in N8N you want us to create. So yeah, this has been it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and found it useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you in the next tutorial. Goodbye.